Good morning, Internet fans. It's Ryan Perry with Simple Biz Support. Today is Wednesday, February the 4th. Therefore, it's Social Media Wednesday. And as usual, I have the wonderfully talented Sarah Giametti with Provaro Marketing on the other end. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous today. I understand we want to talk about the lovely world of social media. Is that correct?
Just like every Wednesday.
I thought I'd kind of throw you for a loop here. But specifically, we're going to talk about the fear that some business owners have simply because of word of mouth, or maybe that they've actually experienced it in real life. Is that if I am open to social media, if I go on Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus and Yelp and all the other social media pages that are out there, I'm really just exposing myself to negative reviews. And the quick and easy answer for that is if you're not there.
If you're not there, your customers are anyway, and they're going to talk about you no matter what, whether it be good or bad. So it's a total myth that by being online you're exposing yourself to negative reviews, because you're exposed anyway just for the fact that sites exist for reviews. Your customers are online and like to give reviews. So you're already exposed, and by not paying attention to it and not being actively engaged, like you said earlier, it's essentially putting your head in the sand. It's happening anyway, so you need to manage it and monitor it and be an active participant in the whole process.
Right, and I don't know if people realize that even if you go, you know what, yeah, but I've never been on Yelp, I've never been on Google Plus. Those are the two that I can think of right now. And then, of course, there's always YP, but it's kind of, hopefully it's obvious that even though you haven't created an account, doesn't mean that your business isn't there, because I know for sure Google, Yelp, they're pulling from databases such as the Yellow Pages. So as soon as you go and get a phone number and establish it as a business line, that goes into a database. Sooner than later, that database is going to be collected by Yelp and Google Plus, as an example, because for me, they're the two big places where people go and leave reviews that people monitor. So your business is going to end up on there regardless. And if you're running around blind and you really don't know what's going on, what type of damage are you doing if you're getting a lot of positive reviews, but you're not recognizing that? And if you haven't actually completed your profile, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. If you haven't completed your profile online and it's just broken in the sense that there's no information, there's no images, there's no branding, how negatively is that affecting you? But let's get back to the negative reviews first. The reality is, if you're in business long enough, something's going to go wrong. It could be on your end. It could be you ended up getting a client that's just a little woo. That's just the reality of life. I always tell my clients, if you're in business long enough, this is something you're going to have to deal with. And so, yes, you want to be aware of it. But two, I guess, is how do you deal with it so having a negative review doesn't feel so bad to us as business owners, and we can spin it into a positive.
Every business owner should handle it the way you would if a customer told you to your face that they had a problem with the service that they received. You want to respond. The beauty with online reviews is that you can respond publicly, and if you're paying attention to it, you can respond quickly and diffuse the situation. Because think about it in your own life. When you have a negative review, you tell everybody how awful, or you had a negative experience, you tell everybody how awful your experience was. So people do the same thing online. So if you can nip that in the bud really quickly, it's a really great way to, one, by responding to it, you tell all the other customers or prospective customers, clients, that you care, that you're paying attention, and you want to fix it. If something goes wrong, I mean, we're human. We're all going to have a bad day. We might have employees who have bad days, but by responding to it in a positive manner and taking care of the situation, you're telling everybody that you care, and you're sorry for the bad experience and you want to fix it. And you can put that out publicly so that everybody can see, yes, this was a negative review, but the owner took care of it. One of the things you never, ever, ever, ever want to do is bash the person online who gave you a negative review. Ever. Never, ever. I can't say that enough. You want to be positive. You want to fix the problem, even if the customer is wrong. They are right online, and you fix the problem. I am so sorry. Let me offer you this special blah, blah, blah to come back in and give us another try. Always just act like they are correct and just be apologetic and fix it.
Right.
Nothing.
I was going to say the other thing, because I've dealt with this a few times with different clients over the years, and the things I tell them is I go, look, the reality is people are going to check and look for reviews. If you have a number of reviews, I don't expect them to all be 5 stars. I understand that you as a business owner, you have a lot of pride. It's very personal to you. You want everybody to love you and like your product, and you're very fearful that if there's one negative review, that everybody's just going to run away and not do business with you. The reality is, if you put yourself in the end user's point of view, and you're actually, as a business owner, you're going, look, I'm going to review somewhere else because I want to go eat, as an example, and you see some bad reviews, but the overall rating, averages out to 4 stars. Are you going to go, I'm never going to go to that restaurant because 2 people out of 10 said they had a poor experience? Sometimes one of those 2 people is probably a little crazy and just writes bad reviews on everything because they love trolling the internet, and you're not going to be able to get away from that. So to me, having some negative reviews lends to credibility that, the reviews are honest, but B, that, all right, this business is well established, they have a lot of reviews, sure, some of them are negative, but overall it's a very positive experience. I'm going to go check it out.
Absolutely. I mean, and people, when we don't know the business, we've never been there, we've never interacted with it, we have a tendency to trust the reviews, especially if there's a whole bunch of them. And like you said, if they average out to 4 stars, then it's a safe bet to go try that place out. And so also on the flip side, if every single review you have is a perfect 5-star, you've never done wrong, there's no wiggle room, that's very suspicious. People look at that and go, oh, that owner bought the reviews, or they had all their friends review and give them all 5 stars, and people are going to dismiss you. So having a variety of reviews does lend to the credibility that you are a real business with a wide variety of people. And I have read reviews where everybody gave something 4 or 5 stars, and there was like 1 or 2 1-stars that just bashed the place. I'm like, and I instantly thought, that person's crazy or they had a really bad day, because if everybody else gave it, 3 to 5 stars or 4 to 5 stars, and there's one crazy person is ranting, they're just ranting because that's what they do. So you have to have some faith in the intelligence of the people that are reading the reviews, and that they're able to discern whether it's a legit review, and then especially if it's a legit negative review and you responded to it, that totally negates the negative review because you've taken care of the problem. You're also not going to get a plethora, I should switch that. As long as you're not an awful business owner, you're not going to get a plethora of negative reviews just by being online. You're going to get a variety. You're going to get mostly positive. If you're a great business owner and you offer a great service, you're going to get mostly positive reviews with maybe some mediocre and less reviews sprinkled in. Just by being there, you're not going to get all of a sudden people aren't just going to randomly go, I'm just going to give a negative review for no reason at all. That's not reality. So if you're seeing companies with a ton of negative reviews, there's a reason they have a ton of negative reviews. It doesn't mean that you're going to have that experience.
Right, and then there's also the side of, all right, there are businesses out there that get a lot of negative reviews. I had a client down in Los Angeles area who unfortunately received a number of negative reviews because of his front office staff. And his business, the clients actually came to his business, and the front office staff specifically one person, turned a lot of people off. And because of that, he received a lot of negative reviews. He did the right thing. He let that person go. Unfortunately, the damage had already been done, and at that point, how do you handle the situation? I understand you got to go online, claim your account. We've got 5 minutes left, so I want to make sure we show people how to look for that on Yelp. But what would you recommend to the business owner that they had a known issue, it created some negative reviews, they fixed the problem. What can they do to kind of repair that damage that's been done?
One, I mean, obviously respond to the reviews online, but if they were actual customers, you should have their contact information. Personally calling them and saying, hey, I really appreciate your feedback. That really helped me with my staffing issue. I have taken care of the problem. I've let that person go. I'd really like to have you come back in, and offer them an incentive to come back in. Because right now, for the group of people, they're spending $0 with you. So giving them a 10% off or some incentive to come back in is not going to hurt you, because right now they're spending zero. So if they come in and spend $100 and you give them a 10% discount, you're still $90 ahead of the game. So for that situation, I would say if you've got contact information, personally call them and invite them back into your business. And letting them know that you appreciate their feedback, you're really sorry for what happened, and that you've taken care of the problem. Obviously with like a restaurant business, that would be a lot harder. But so I would be, at least responding to them online with that message that you've taken care of the problem. Hopefully will help negate the issue, and then just you've got to move forward and try and get new reviews, more recent reviews that are positive since that problem was fixed.
Right, and the other thing that I don't know if all business owners know is that when somebody reviews you, they can go back and update the review. I've seen that happen a few times where the stars gone up or the stars have gone down. And so, actually, I don't know if that's true on Yelp or not. Do you know? Or can you?
I think I think it is.
Okay. I was thinking of Amazon for a moment, but the fact is, if you treat somebody well, they're going to take the time and effort to go back. Not everybody, but a lot of people will. They'll go back and they'll rewrite, re-edit, or post another review that changes that. Now, the one thing I would not recommend doing as a business owner is going, hey, Mr. Customer, really sorry you had this bad experience. Why don't you come back? They come back, they have a great experience, and then you follow up with, would you mind changing your review online? Because now it looks like you simply were nice in order to bring them in so that they would change the review. Let that happen organically and understand that you're not going to get rid of all those negative reviews, but as you get more positive reviews, those negatives are going to get pushed down, 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 and obviously you're going to average out your stars, so that star value should increase over time. And again, a smart user, and you want clients that are smart, are going to say, oh, geez, all these problems happened back in early 2014. And as time has gone, look, they're all positive reviews now, so they obviously must have fixed whatever that problem was. And we've got 2 minutes. Can you bring up do a screen share and find a Yelp page that hasn't been claimed? And I want to just kind of let's talk about branding real quick, and then let's also talk about the fact that if you haven't claimed your account, you have no way of responding. So if you can show people, I think it's on the bottom right-hand side.
Right. So we randomly found one that hasn't been claimed. So right here, kind of on the middle of the right side, you'll see if you work here, claim this business. So you want to make sure as a business owner that you claim your business so that you can make sure all the correct information is out here. Like my husband and I were going out to dinner last night, and the first 2 restaurants we wanted to go to were closed on Tuesday. Thankfully, their information was correct online, and we were able to see that before we went there. So you want to make sure you want to make it as easy as possible for people to want to do business with you and get to you. So by claiming the business, you can get all of your branding in here. Up at the top, you can add a photo. So the photo that represents your business. You can have a profile image. My logo is my profile image on my Yelp page. And make sure all your business info is correct, so that you really want to own all of your profiles or accounts online everywhere. You want to own it, because if you own it, you can control it and you can interact with people. So that is really, really important.
All right, now, and I'm going to, because we're almost done here, the other thing I want to point out to you as a business owner is that if this is what your page looks, oh, You disappeared.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Here, I can go back. There you go.
There we go. If people are doing research and this is what they run across, and they go to your Facebook page and the same thing, it's not branded at all, it doesn't lend to credibility. You know, and this is a company, and hopefully nobody out there is from East West Health Center. If they are, I apologize. But this is a company that has a 5-star rating. They have a review, you know, to follow up with whoever RC is in Willows, California, just would make that person feel better about your business. Oh, they followed up with me on Yelp. Maybe they followed up on the phone and said, hey, thank you for that positive review. It's going to make that person feel much better. But ultimately, we need to have a brand presence on all social media so that when people land here, they don't see add a photo, you know, edit business information. It just really says that you don't care that much. And ultimately, as business owners, you do care. We know you do care. Thank you for sharing that again, Sarah.
You're welcome.
So with that being said, any last minute words of wisdom before we end this broadcast?
Nope, just pay attention to your reviews. If they're negative ones, take care of them quickly. And don't be negative yourself. Be very positive and just fix the problem and let it go away.
Yeah, and I love what you said earlier, which was act as if that person's right in front of you. When you write a review, actually act and go, okay, hey, you know what, if Bob just walked up to me and said, you know what, the tacos were really cold, they didn't taste very well, what would you say to Bob? And that's the same connection that you want to make online. So.
Yep.
All right, perfect. With that being said, as always, Sarah, I greatly appreciate your time and energy that you put into this, and we'll be talking to you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Ryan.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.